Right guys, do you want to have a look? Don't know where it is. Oh, it's there. It's over that shoulder, weren't it? It's on. It's nice. Oh, whoa. The pipe's not on. I've got my trial pipe. I did a trial pipe. Basically, when did he bring that Friday night? Over that shoulder now. He brought that on Friday night, and he said, I need it doing in a week, that, because he's got 2 weeks to finish it off, then he's going racing it. And he's got the lad that did race one of them back in the day, and who he's copied up stickers off and stuff. Can't remember his name. I was like Greg Hansen. It could be Greg Hansen. He's got him. He's going to do a parade lap on it, so it needs finishing. He's not even had it running yet, so it needs to run because ex-rider's going to ride it. Let's go and have a look. Oh, I'm not good at going backwards. Oh, so nice. So yeah, this pipe I've got on, like I say, the tricky pipe this, and it looks easy as pie. It looks proper easy to bend. I should get you. There's the original one. So I just did the start of a reel for me Facebook or whatever. I just took all that panel off, and now I've just had to put it back on. But I had to put it back on anyway because I wanted to make sure that my trial pipe fitted. Because if my trial pipe fits, then I think that pipe that I've already bent will be better, and I'm going to bend one more now for the camera with this sat behind it. So this is the original pipe. Let's get some focus and have a look at that. The Keith's borrowed this off a guy, so we need to give it back, so that's why it's here. He's got everything else. He's got the cam there on back, and he's got that fancy Y piece on front, which I don't think I've shown you. That bit there, really nice. Oh, I forgot to get the drawings out. Yeah, we have had this discussion, haven't we? I'm going to go and get drawings out as well in a minute. Yeah, this is made out of one bend from there to there, another bend from there to there, a bend from there to there, and another bend. And then they just TIG weld them all together. I think TIG welded, maybe gas welded, but it looks like it's really neat, so it's probably TIG welded. These will have been brazed on, these little spring hooks, we need to put them on. And we're going to need to make one of these little bracket for it, that part of it. That's not original, that bit. Obviously, that's not original. So we're not doing that. And we're going to try and get this all in one piece. I spoke to I'm going to call him Clive then. I spoke to Keith when he brought me a bike, and I said, is it alright if we split it there? Maybe that set of bends there and that set of bends there might not be in rotation, so if we can split it there, that might save me a load of headaches. But let's have a look at trial pipe. Trials pipe's on, and this is where I'm going to say I'll split it there, so you can't see it, it's just hidden there, but I've not had to. That's joined into the back of the can there, and it lines up with the header pipe there. So we're looking good. The only problem is with it is this is a trial pipe and not a usable pipe, because it's got a very small bump in there. It's actually a big bump, but I can't show you on camera. I know it's a big bump, I know it's there, so we're going to do another two just in case, but it's a bump there. It feels like a dint there, but it's actually a bump there. And the main problem being with this kind of bend is that bend joins onto that bend, joins onto that bend, joins onto that bend, and there's no gap in between. There's a little bit there, there's a little tiny bit of straight in the middle of them two, but basically if you bend that one and you bump it, you're bumping it onto this one, so like that bit's stretched in a way, that bit's all compressed. Then you need to stretch this side and compress this side. Well, you're compressing that up against this bend that's there, so it wants to bump here. Because basically, it's really hard to explain if you don't understand it. But it's gathering material, isn't it? As you're going around there, when you're doing any metal work, you're gathering material or you're stretching out material. And it's gathering it on this side and then stretching it on that side. And if you just carried on stretching, it'd be totally fine. But because then you're going to try and flick it back the other way, it literally just wants to bump up against the last bend that you did. So you end up getting a bump here or a dint after it. And then that can carry on going. Then you might just end up with ripple all the way around. And that's going to make it really hard. The other thing that makes it really hard is you put that bend on, bend it this way. When you bend that one back that way, it opens this one out. So then you have to go back and redo that one, bend it back, which then opens the one out that you've just done. So then you have to do, so it's just a case of going backwards, forward, like just keep doing that a bit. Once you finish with it, you just have to tweak it back to where you wanted it. And that's the same with this one here, and that's going to be a pain because they're even tighter together then. And by the time you get to there, you've already disturbed all your stands, so you bent that one in, then your sand's really starting to push along a bit. You bend this one in, bend that one in. Your last bend's always the hardest thing because your sand has pushed along a bit, and then you're ending up, you've got bits of gaps in your sand. You go and put this last one in, that one will ripple. So you just have to be clever about it when you're doing it. Each one of these ones I've done, so I've done 2 already, and they've all rippled. But I've managed to pull them back, which is tricky. So like this one might have rippled there, where that bit of skin's just popped off it. I think it's probably had a ripple there where I've gone from that bend into the next bend, and like I say, it's got a big dirty bump on it there right at the start, which, so I didn't even set off good, but that's too close to the vice, that's what's caused that. Yeah, got not much else to say. We've got something to say, but I'm just trying to crack on. I've got to try and get this as much done today, because I've only got tomorrow to finish it off, because Friday's big bike pickup day. So, and what I'm going to try and do, let's keep it in short. I'll probably try and set you up over there. I've got my phone on charge, and we're going to film doing this sand bending this last pipe. So if I set you a bit further up, a bit further back, you can watch it as well. Like, it might not be as good as my reel. I don't know which one will be best, but like I say, if you want to go and see some reels, go and look at my Facebook, my Instagram. They're on there. I'll stop you. I'll go and set this up. We'll have a look on tripod, and then we'll try and fit some more to these. We'll try and get 2 really good pipes out of it and then set it up. So I'm going to leave you here, and then we'll come back. You could actually just, if you could just stay there, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? You get a nice view. Just sit there and stare at that. Now, me and Tony have had this problem a million times. You'd be extremely well balanced. Nah, right, I'm out. I'll be back. Right, guys. Totally forgot to put you on. I've done the first bend, then waiting for it to cool down. Mainly because of what I was saying on the last video, that this next bend, I'm going to bend it back that way, an S bend, and it won't pull that bend because it'll still be soft. So I waited for it to cool down, which gave me a bit more of a better chance of it staying where it should be. Waited for my phone to charge up a bit. I'm going to plug my phone in up there. It would have been a messy video because my reel is, when I start off there, I started off with it straight, so we had this behind us, and then ended up too far over there, and that would have, I've done 3 pipes, tried recording all 3 of them. And that's the problem, once I've gone so far through, I might have shot, and then I've redone the vice, brought it back, so now you can hopefully see it. But yeah, this way I'm going to bend it back this way, so hopefully I'll still be in frame. If not, I'm going to move my camera around. But it'd be nice to keep the red bike in shot, wouldn't it? That's going to... Normally everything's all black and dull and everything in here, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to get torch back out. Let's just wang this behind you. And we're going to have a look at the next bend. You can just keep looking at that pretty bike. Right, that's on. Gas is on. Pipe set up, I think. Got my wire pan, which has moved about a fair bit over the last couple of days while I've been trying to bend these. So yeah, I've got to bend a bend now. Let's get some marks on there. Hopefully no one in this reel will be able to hear me. To be honest with you, that could do. No, that's all right. Yeah, what's a bend now between there and that mark that I've put there? Yeah, roughly about that. And that bit here is where the problem lies. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a section there where it's the end of that bend and it's the start of this bend. Really, that wants to be across that much, but we're eating into the bit of the bend off the other one, which has been the problem. Been the problem all the way through that. And it looks like we're heading downwards a little tiny bit. Alright, time to fire the torch up. Maybe a bit more of that. That's an hard. Ah, there we go. Right guys, that's 2 bends in. I'm going to wait for it to cool down a little bit longer. I don't know if you're still actually filming. What's the next? Because this next one's going to come in the same plane as that, so it's going to come this way and then bend back that way. So if I start putting that next bend in, it's just going to try and tighten that up ever so slightly. I think it might actually need a bit of tightening up. Nah, it needs a bit of slackening off. But then it'll slacken off when I put this last one in. That'll bend that one up a bit. So yeah, when I put this next bend in, it's going to slacken that one off. But then when I put the last bend in, it should tighten that one back up again, hopefully. My plan is now to spin the vice round, get this pipe in the right plane, because the last 2 bends, if you were looking at it, well, I don't know, it basically, if it was flat there now, the end of it kicks up like that. So it's rotated from that round to that, basically, so I need to set the vice up like that to get that flat. I need to put the angle on the bottom end of the bend in the vice, then I can just trace that last bit of bend out. See, it works alright on the first pipe. I think the second pipe looks exactly the same as the first pipe, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it should all come out good. But yeah, perfect time now just to get a drink, cool down a little bit, let that cool down a bit, rework the bend, set camera back up again. I'll let you watch it again. If you've got enough battery left or enough memory card left, I'll let you watch it. The phone's doing alright, I'll probably reset it up. I'll be back. Right guys, update. Camera run out, battery. Yeah, battery run out while I was bending them pipes. If you look down there, you can see 2 pipes that way. You can see 2 pipes down on the floor. I've managed to grab it all on my phone, so we should get a nice little video out, and I might be able to stick it on here, up on YouTube. But that's how she's looking. I just thought, oh, better get that camera out again, flipping keep you updated. Otherwise, bike's gonna go. Because like I say, it's only been in here for a week, and I've only been working on it. That was yesterday. I bent the pipes. Today we're gonna fit the pipes. So I've had them on bike. I've checked them with silencer. Silencer's over there on bench, big aluminium can over there. Add them on, they all fit, so now we need to do some grind scale off the pipes, because we need to weld on some brackets, need to weld on a collar. Then she's done a spring hook as well, but I'm not too sure about this spring. That's going to be a sticky point. But we're going to leave that till last. First of all, the collar fits perfectly, so that's going to be, just tack that on, I think. Get it all nice and lined up on bike, get it tacked on. Bracket's going to be tricky, just because it's all built up and it's all fresh white paint. Normally, get the brackets down the back, I can't reach it, can't see it, just get MIG welder out, but that'll splatter. You get a lot of splatter off MIG weld, don't you? So then it'll just get bits of hot metal stuck to his bloody paint, stuck to his plastic, stuck to everything. So I can't do that, I need to try and TIG weld it from back. Can't even braze it, can't get brazing torch down there because it'll set everything on fire. So TIG weld's the only way I can do it. Unless we can tack it on when it's off the bike, that's another way of doing it, is to put it on, mark round it with pen, pull it all off, try and get it lined up nicely on bench, tack it on, put it back on the bike, pull it back off again, weld it up, put it back on the bike, pull it back off again. Really long-winded, so if I can try and get a TIG welder in back of it, which should be alright. What I'll do, I'll spin it around, let's have a look. Might even, if I can get you on tripod, I'm going to find a tripod, we'll have a quick look at fitting this back up again before I start doing welding. You keep looking at that. I'll look for a tripod. Right, found it. Found tripod. That gold stand looked a bit green then, didn't it? It's not nice, that gold stand. Oof. I think one of my ideas, I want to lean it up against my lamppost, take a picture of it with that flag over the top of it. But at the same time, I'm going to have big door open tomorrow because everyone's coming picking the bikes up, aren't they? So we'll get a picture of it outside blue door, I think. I don't know if the red and the blue and whatnot will all go together, but we've had a picture of all Keith's CCMs outside door. His gold one where a minter outside the door, because gold on blue looks nice, doesn't it? So we're having a bit of camera issues, as in you can't fit it all in. But yeah, if I go over there, pull my jeans up, we'll just have one more go fitting it. So I've got these, it needs a little collar, it's got some weird little joint up front, and then slip-in joints. So that collar's going to go in between them 2 pipes there. That just slots into that. The over collar's not in line with the inner collar, but it'll do. I think they do that because they think it's going to create a better seal, but I'm not really sure if it does create a better seal or not. Then we have to try and wiggle this through without touching any paint again, which has been been the hardest thing about this. I think that's just a bit of black dust. Yeah, hardest bit has been, yeah, just get this through here without, so obviously it's going to touch in places, but there we go. If anything, you want it to touch like on the back of this post here, so you can't see where it's been touching, don't you? Get that to slot in the front of there, like that. And then roughly here, that should be sat up there in that bend. It's touching this, I think that could be a starter motor. Not too sure about that actually. Don't know what that is. Looks like a starter motor, but then I'm not really sure it will be a starter motor. It's not going to be a starter motor, is it? It's probably, God knows what it is. But yeah, it's touching there, so I'm going to have to probably put a dint in there. Once I've finished it all off, we'll go and have a look, see where it's close to paint. We don't want it marking paint, burning paint. This is the big old can off it. Looks a bit like I think it is. I think it's a piece of flue pipe that with a disc welded on end there. It's almost like scaffold tube, but it's made out of alley. So that's a thick walled alley tube welded into the end. And then they just put a massive circlip in the end of it there to hold it all together. That's why it's got that ridge on that makes it look like a piece of ducting, a piece of flue pipe. That wants to go on there. Doesn't have to be perfectly accurate this, because Keith's told me that the original silencers had a double bracket on, that's why there's a boss there and a boss there. This only has a single bracket. So you can have them cut off by his mate, who's a really good alley welder. So you can have them re-welded on. So as long as this is ballpark, which it is, it should be totally fine. Because there's a little bit of wiggle room in that bracket, isn't it? Because you can take that off and put it back on again. I'll put a bolt through there, just to position it. And that's us in ballpark position, so let's have a look. That went on really easily. It's a good sign that it fits well. So that's what she's going to look like when she's done. Let's see if we get a bit of darkness on that little white gloss. No, I don't really know what this wheel does. We'll just leave it at that. I think if I'd put that on a different setting, I could have adjusted that. The white's just, what's that called? Overexposing a bit. It's losing it up here, and that's really glowy. But yeah, let's have a look at pipe. That's what we're here for, innit? So yeah, that's the pipe on. Running through nicely, up there, all nice in line. Say bracket fits perfectly up there. That fits nicely into that bend. It's got a gap between that as well, which I weren't expecting to see. There's a gap down back of there. I say the only place where it is actually touching is here, which I don't think it is on the original pipe, but it's just because of the sweep that I've done. It's a little bit different than the original. So the original's been made out of 1 bend, 2 bend, 3 bend, 4 bends. I've managed to get that all in one piece, all made out of the same piece of tube. What we need to do next is, that's the sleeve there that's going inside that. So I need to tack this onto the pipe. We need to take all the pipe off, grind that up so it's nice and clean, so we can weld that to that. Then it needs a bracket on the back side of that, that's where I'm going to say that's my problem is. So I need to try and tack a bracket onto there. And I just can't get in. You can't see that from back. I have no idea yet how I'm going to do that. The pipe will probably easy bit. The pipe looks like it's the hardest thing to do on that bike, but I'm telling you now, the bracket's going to be the hardest thing on it. But yeah, she looks good. She's going to look even better when side cover's on. So we get this all finished off now. I'll just say, get both pipes out. I've marked where them brackets are going to go on that pipe and on this pipe. So I'm going to take them off, buff the end up for the collar, buff that bit up there for the bracket. Then we need to make 2 brackets, which are going to look like this. I've got original pipe here. It's going to look like that. Just notice it's got a spring hook on there. That's to spring the silencer on, I think. Might have to put one of them on. The bracket's tricky as. But yeah, if we could just replicate that now, just get the brackets made, get the spring hooks made on there, get them all flipped over onto that. It's about 2 o'clock, I think it's 2 o'clock, it could nearly be 3 now. And I know that Ashley's coming tea time, she's dropping a car off at MOT at garage next door, so I need to drive her home. I said, don't come till 7, go see your mum first and then come back here, come for 7, because I need to get this done today. I've got all day tomorrow to do it as well. He's not coming picking up till tea time, which is a northern dinner time. We have breakfast, dinner, tea. Down south you have breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just poorer, I think. I think it's something to do with it is something to do with that. So I've learned about it today, off subject. Not today, but this week somewhere. I've read that on Facebook. When you went to school up north, your dinner would be at dinner time because you'd have it at school and it'd be a bit only meal of the day. You wouldn't have breakfast, you wouldn't have tea. Your tea would be a cup of tea, I think. Before you went to bed, so that'd be your main meal, and we'd only have it at school to supply it for you. And if you were down south, you're rich enough, you'd have breakfast, lunch, and then dinner. You go home after work. That'd be your main meal of the day. You'd have money, wouldn't you? You'd have money. You could have some roast beef or something. Whereas we had to wait for either the mill. Probably mill might have supplied it when you were working in mills, or school supplied it. So we have dinner at lunchtime, 12 o'clock, midday. We have dinner at midday. Down south, you have it at 5 o'clock. We have breakfast at 8, dinner at 12, tea at 5, 6, kind of thing. So yeah, he's coming. I don't know where that come from. He's coming at tea time tomorrow to pick this up. 5 p.m, 6 p.m, end of work. I've got all day to finish off the brackets, the spring hooks, everything else. But Benelli man's coming. Benelli man's coming from Arlemon. He's coming on a day return on ferry, so he's going to drive straight here from Liverpool, I think, or from East and Morecambe. An hour either way it is, from whichever ferry he gets. It's an hour to here. Pick it up, chat about it, show him everything that's on it, how to take them off, how to put them on, where the nuts, the bolts, everything else is. Then he's going to go away, get back on the same ferry, I think, back to Arlemon. I've got that Onda Norton guy. He's coming at dinner time as well tomorrow, so it'll just be a day of chatting. I've got a mate that wants a seat hoop bending for his cafe racer. He's going to call him with a drawing. And then Keith's going to turn up at tea time for that, so it's literally all day of a job. I'm going to try and get them all outside for a photograph. Weather's good, we're outside for a photograph. If weather's shit, I'll clean up the area where CCM is now. It's nice having a CCM. I flipping love having CCMs in. One of my favourite bikes, and good thing about this is it's Lancashire. We're in Lancashire now, having a proper northern tea time and that. And these guys that were building these bikes are from Bolton, so then they're in Lancashire as well. So they've been doing the same thing. They'll have had a bloody dinner break and then they'll have had a tea time break. Because we're all up north, so that's a proper northern bike like me. The people that built that bike, they'll talk like me. Proper northern scrambler. That's why you can't beat a CCM. Lovely. So yeah, I'm going to whip them pipes off now, grind them up. Just look at it. Just look at it. Said to Keith, the red looks awesome in here, doesn't it? I try and get rid of all red things, so like my red bench for taking photographs. Don't like it being in view. There's a couple of other red things knocking around in here. I just don't like them. My little prop stands and that. Don't like them, but that. Right, I'll be back again soon. I'll keep you updated. I'll set you up to weld on some brackets. So when I get into that point, I'm banging my head on bench. I'll probably whip camera back out. But we'll save some battery for now. I'll be back.